Welcome to Good Sport Reviews, and this is 10 crazy Liverpool transfers that almost happened. Number 10, Diego Costa. Yes, the man who was madder than a box of frogs and had the inside of his head playing a constant loop of the Smack My Bitch Up music video almost made the move to Merseyside, 1 year before the Brazilian turned Spaniard made the move to Chelsea. According to multiple sources, including the BBC and the player himself, Liverpool made a £21 million bid in early August of 2013 in an effort to find Luis Suarez's replacement before he inevitably transferred away, and they decided that Diego Costa, who was one of the best attackers in Europe, was the answer, with the player almost out of contract and looking to maybe move on from Madrid. However, following Atletico's sale of Radamel Falcao to Monaco that summer, they offered Costa a new contract, and the Reds' interest didn't progress any further. God, imagine that 2013-14 season with Costa instead of Suarez. I mean, I want to see that timeline somehow. Number 9, Thomas Lemar. Summer of 2017 was a major time for Liverpool, who saw Andrew Robertson and Mo Salah arrive and bum the rest of the Premier League. And it also saw them looking to future-proof, with the future of Brazilian midfielder and magician of Liverpool Felipe Coutinho uncertain, following numerous reports that Barcelona was sniffing around him like a pig looking for truffles. To counteract the potential gap in midfield, Liverpool submitted a £55.5 million bid, which would rise to a then club record of £70 million if certain criteria was met for the then Monaco midfielder, who was also a subject of interest from Arsenal. In fact, the player himself admitted that he wanted to move to Liverpool, but the French outfit rejected the Reds' bid, and following Arsenal's improved bid of €100 million, Liverpool pulled out of negotiations and decided to use the money they had at the time, combined with the £104 million they received in January from the sale of Coutinho, to invest elsewhere in the side, and also on another midfield target, Naby Keita. Moving swiftly on now, number 8, Loic Remy. In the summer of 2013, Liverpool were trying to be proactive rather than reactive regarding the signing of Luis Suarez's eventual replacement. The summer of 2014, however, was Liverpool going, and scrambling to sign pretty much anyone and everyone of mediocrity or below in an effort to replace the best advert for a Snickers bar. Step right up, Loic Remy, a man who, yes, had a proven track record of goal scoring in Ligue 1 with Nice and Marseille, and in England with QPR and Newcastle, but always felt like his ceiling was close to being reached, and that information didn't get to Liverpool, who triggered the release clause of £8.5 million, only for the France international to fail his medical as it was discovered there was a fault with his heart during the routine procedures. Didn't stop him playing for a further 9 years, thankfully, but when you spend the majority of your time at Chelsea on the bench not having to do much movement, I suppose a heart issue isn't going to flare up. Number 7, Joey Barton. I mean, no, though, seriously, no. No. There is no timeline in existence where Liverpool should have considered or even contemplated signing the man who is the logic and sense what a nuclear bomb is to a puppy. But yes, sadly, we must suffer in this dimension, where back in 2004, according to Barton himself in his autobiography No Nonsense, should have removed the first 3 letters as a second word there to get a more accurate depiction, the midfielder very nearly joined Liverpool while he was still a part of Manchester City. In fact, he said he met up with Gerard Houllier at Melwood, and the deal was verbally agreed, with only falling through due to the sacking of the manager in 2004 shortly afterwards. Makes sense, clearly his decision making was on the decline, but following this deal falling through, the club went out and signed an emergency backup, a certain Xabi Alonso instead. 4D chess from Houllier right there. Number 6, Nemanja Vidic. Before he became one of the greatest centre-backs in Premier League history and Fernando Torres' bitch, Nemanja Vidic was plying his trade in Russia for Spartak Moscow, while attracting interest from a multitude of clubs across the planet, including, but not limited to, Manchester United, of course, Chelsea, Arsenal, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and of course, Liverpool, who, according to both then manager Rafa Benitez and Vidic himself, were very interested in signing the defender, but never advanced the discussions beyond this stage, with him speaking to the board and Rafa over the phone while in the car in Russia, while his wife was translating next to him, but never going over the initial stage of interest and giving Manchester United the wiggle room to sliver in and negotiate a deal for the Serbian. Number 5, Alexis Sanchez. I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day because every single one of these list videos seems to gravitate back to this wretched summer window of disdain and misery, like some sort of black hole sucking all joy and happiness out of the world, and this failed piss take of a transfer saga sums up the whole debacle perfectly. To cut a long story short, Luis Suarez left, boo. Liverpool inquired about the availability of Sanchez, who was being phased out by the MSN, yay. Sanchez says no, and that he wants to live in London rather than Merseyside. Off then. Hope the eventual spell at United was worth it, Sanchez. According to reports, he didn't want to seem like a make-weight in the Suarez deal and wanted to be viewed as a vital player in any potential deal agreed. Disappointing when we saw how world-class he was for Arsenal during this stint there, and the fact that we got super sucker Mario instead makes it even worse. Number 4, Mario Gomez. Do you know what's better than nearly signing a top European striker for your club once? Nearly signing a top European striker to improve your club twice, and that's exactly what happened with Mario Gomez, who nearly joined in 2011 during the undeniably peak period of Roy Hodgson and his style of football, which was so backwards and half-arsed it looked like a drunk trying to do the moonwalk after 10 pints of Nuki Brown.
So, let's not take the piss here.
With the German joining Bayern Munich instead and seeing Liverpool sign Andy Carroll, good lord. And it happened once again in 2015, with the German being the backup target for Liverpool while they struggled to complete deals for Alexandre Lacazette and Christian Benteke, and eventually seeing the 2013 Champions League winner go on loan to Besiktas instead of joining the Reds, with the real reasons for the change of heart never being truly revealed, with the rumour being that Fiorentina weren't interested in taking Mario Balotelli in the swap deal. Number 3, Nabil Fekir. It's the most well-known example in modern Reds history, but it honestly is such a mixture of conspiracy and intrigue that it needs bringing up again. So, cast your minds back to 2018, Liverpool going through a mass transition of players, allowing the likes of Fabinho, Alisson Becker, Xherdan Shaqiri, and I guess Naby Keita was there as well, but hey-ho. And on top of all those great players and Naby Keita, the Reds were interested in Lyon midfielder Nabil Fekir, who was one of the most sought-after players across European football after a stellar season which saw him record 23 goals across 40 appearances for the French side. Fast forward a few weeks and a deal was struck with Liverpool agreeing a purchase of the lad for around £55 million, even going as far as him having a medical and recording a welcome to Liverpool announcement video only for a dodgy knee in the medical to say, nah, F this, and the club pulled the plug on signing the player. Fekir has since responded by saying it was his agent at the time, Jean-Pierre Bernet, who was the reason for the failed move owing to frustrations in financing, only for Bernet to come out later on and say it was due to the involvement of another agent, and just, sorry? I genuinely hate modern football sometimes. Number 2, Michael Owen. Can't fault Michael Owen as a footballer. He was otherworldly levels of top quality, but as a person, his morals are like Donald Trump's with the president of Ukraine. But despite my personal vendetta against the man who treats customer service employees like Liam Roberts treats faces, the man was talented, especially during the mid-2000s. So much so, in fact, that after his failed move to Real Madrid, Liverpool, under the management of Rafa Benitez, wanted to re-sign their academy gem for a cutthroat price of £8 million, with the boss even having a 2.5-hour conversation with the Ballon d'Or winner over the move. All seemed well until Newcastle, probably staggering into the boardroom after a piss up on the town, offered Real Madrid around £16 million, double what Liverpool were willing to pay, which saw the future Stoke City legend make the move to the Magpies instead of making a heroic return to Anfield. And looking at how his career went, we probably dodged the bullet. And number 1, Cristiano Ronaldo. Yes, one of the top 4 players in the history of football, was almost a Liverpool player during the early years of his career. Cristiano Ronaldo, the man who won 5 Ballon d'Ors, 5 Champions Leagues and more sponsorship deals than a festival, was sought after by the Reds around the year of 2003 when the Portuguese megastar was becoming a prominent figure at Sporting Lisbon. According to Gerard Houllier and Phil Thompson, the club were in communication with Sporting over signing the winger, and even had Phil Thompson attend the lunch with the player's agent, agreeing a deal of around £4 million over 4 years, which sounds easy enough, but the lad was also asking for £1 million a year in wages net at just the age of 18, which cast doubts over the move. Fast forward a few days, and during a Tuesday lunch at Melwood, it was announced that the winger agreed a deal for Manchester United to take him on, which shocked Gerard Houllier and Phil Thompson so much that they nearly choked on their lunch. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to click like and subscribe.